Hello. Alright, we good? Alright, we're hyped up, we're ready to go, Okay, so we are, let's see where we're at. We have our racetrack. Actually, let's try and line these up. Let's try to line them up. So we've got race path. So what we'll do is on race, it wants to be part of racetrack. So if we do end up with a real world version and a cyberspace version, then we don't lose the mapping for either one, right? Because it's using the same racetrack geometry essentially. Okay, so I'm just gonna create a material for the racing line. So let's do that now. We should have a materials. Yes. Racing line. Racing rhino. Racing rhino. Okay, so we should have a racing line. Where? Did I just create a C# script? I did. God damn it, I'm so used to creating C# scripts. I just made a C# script without even trying. That's bad. That's real bad. This guy's crazy. This guy's fucking cray-cray. Alright, we have a racing line material, which I'm going to assign to the race path. It's already assigned to the race path. And I'm just going to make it like yellow or green or some fucking thing. Something somewhere in between. How about that? Okay, now when we zoom in, yeah, we can just about see it. Just about. See, we've got this weird camera distance thing happening right now. Just follow it. Right now it's kind of weird actually. It definitely, okay, you'll see how it like, it's following this lane until it gets to kind of here, and then it goes like one lane over. So I'm gonna try to line it up with one of the lanes firstly. Actually, we want it in the middle, really, like that. So it still goes over into the next lane here, so the thing is too wide, and also, ooh, she goes off track there. Actually, you know what else we need to do? Let me just do something else first. Because these lines are actually a little too high above the whole racetrack. So until we fix that, it's going to be hard to line things up. So let's fix that now. Okay, this is the point where it becomes visible. And this is at Y48. So now we can start fine-tuning. 48. 47 disappears. 47.5. Mostly visible. 77. There we go. Now it's kind of totally visible. But you'll see one of the other issues we have is this thing has a slope on it. Where am I going? Where am I going? Okay, this red thing has like a slope on it. And it kind of... Let's give it some height. There we go. Okay, that's looking better, but you'll also notice that the the lines themselves are elevated. You can see underneath there. So our terrain's actually too low. It might be better to bring the terrain up, actually. So where's our terrain? Where's our terrain? Terrain. I can't find you. There it is. I found it. I found it. It's static. Yes, terrain should be kind of static. Alright, let's say it's 0. Now it's Z plane fighting, or really it's Y plane fighting. Everybody was Y plane fighting. Ooh, ah, ooh. Okay, that's looking way better. Yeah, a little bit of prep could save us all. Okay, so what seems to happen, as we push that down into the ground, the lines stay above the ground, but the racetrack gets buried, which would suggest that either our terrain's coming up at this point, which it doesn't look like it is, or the track is dipping down, which is the most likely thing that's happening. So hold up. Okay, that brings it more into view. Who made this goddamn racetrack? Show yourself. Explain yourself. Who didn't make this racetrack? Jackson Charles. Explain yourself, boy. Explain yourself. Oh, he's in a big gamba. And squirty guns and toys. He likes his toys. Thomas the Tank Zebra. I remember him. Back in the day. For some reason I thought there was 2 elephants. Okay. I mean, I can't really say fuck all really, because like I can't model to save my fucking life. Right, that's looking a bit more manageable. That's now dipping down into there, which fills the gap there. We've got a little bump in the grass. At least from the camera view that I'm looking at it in, we seem pretty good. I don't see any problems around the edges. Okay, I think we're good. Right, so now now what we're doing is we're just making sure that this green line, which is the race path, is staying in lane, which it's currently not. So it's too wide. Try to move it 1 pixel. There we go, 1 pixel. It's still too wide. Let's move it another notch. That's another notch. That's now it's not wide enough. Okay, but it's close. So the scale, which one is that? That is the Y scale. Okay, so it's not quite wide enough, so we want to increase this. So let's try 1.4. Bit more, 1.5. 1.6. We're getting there. 1.8. 1.8 looks pretty spot on to me. It's staying in lane. It's staying in lane. Don't ignore this. Ignore this. It's perfect up here though. Okay, we're getting closer. Now the problem is it's not big enough in this direction. So if we push it into the middle of the lane, it drifts too much, so that's too big. So let's push it down 1. There's one. Now it's too small, I think. I'm like fucking Goldilocks up here. I'm like fucking Goldilocks. I knew I reminded myself of somebody. I knew I was related to one of those fairy tale characters. I was hoping it would be fucking, I don't know, King Chad, you know, of the fucking Chadders in Wonderland. But, you know, trust me to be related to fucking Goldilocks. Alright, well, whatever. We're going... Which one is this? The Z? The Z. Wait, is it? No, it's the X, it's the X, it's the X. Okay, so let's go 8 again. Hang on. That's too big. Too big. Alright, how's that? Little bit more. Not a full notch, like a 3. Like a 3. Oh, baby! Look at that! And we can test it. We can give it a save. We'll give it a run. Oh, you motherfucker, we're running it already. Okay, what to do in an emergency situation like this. So basically, Unity will not retain data that you change whilst in runtime, because it's letting you try things out in player mode without actually making them stick. But obviously we have the numbers that we want and the numbers that we need. What we could actually do is we can actually cheat. If we go to copy world transform, press play, press stop, paste world transform, boop, that will also do it. But I also took a screenshot so I could put the numbers back in. So there we go. We're staying in lane. Let's press play now. She should stay in lane. So we have the inner lane. Now she's kind of floating, so she doesn't look like she's on the track. But if we actually bring it down a little bit, you bring it down a little bit. Where is her? Is she actually moving in the Y transform? Does it let me move that? No, it's locked. Oh, that's the rotation, though, no. Yeah, our positions. Yeah. That shouldn't be moving. Well, that stopped it moving. Well, that bloody stopped it moving. No, she finished a race, that's why. That'll probably be fine, to be honest. She is kind of floating above, though. So let's take a look at our script. We don't, because it's all flat anyway, so we don't want any elevation as part of our function. So let's just go into this code real quick. Yeah, path points current index. Okay, so here's what we do. At the start, I was going to say at the start of the fight. At the start of the script, we're going to record our height. Okay. And then here we're going to create a vector 3, which we're going to call new position. And new position is going to equal new vector 3. And the x is going to be path points current index. X. Y is going to be character height, and Z is going to be path points current index Z. Then we're going to set new position as the position. Then in update, we're going to do something similar. We're going to do a, well, we could just do it here actually. So we want a new vector 3 at path points current index x character height path points z. There we go. Okay. So to know whether that's working or not, what we do is we run it, keep an eye on this y position, and the y position should stay solid. Not only that, if we move the y position, it's going to suck it back down to original height. That's why. So now our feet, we can fix that though. Now our feet are kind of stuck in the ground, right? Like the ground, they're actually clipped through the ground. But what that allows us to do now is, it's because if we hide these starting blocks, we moved some geometry around, didn't we? So if we actually move these starting blocks, there, that's how she stood now. So if we bring her up, fucking goddamn it, will you just seriously? Where is she? No. Wait, what? Why is her fucking root over there? What? That's weird. Okay, now if we press play, it means now we can line up the heights and stuff right in the feet. There we go. So she's stuck in the inner lane, and she should stick to the inner lane. And then we just need to do the same thing for the other 3 lanes. Beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. Do we need that? No, we don't. I'll delete it. I'll delete it. So we've got our... Right. Also, isn't she facing the other way? She really is. What happens if I turn her around? Does she just... Don't turn around unless you want to see me fuck up Unity. Don't turn around. Why is that on a pivot like that? That doesn't make any sense. What the fuck is going on? Okay, I really do not want this because she's not even on the fucking track now. Oh, she finds the track though. That's how good our code is. Yeah, like it doesn't really make any difference, so there's not much point. But it's just weird. I would like... Why is she on a pivot though? I really don't know, so I'm just going to do that instead. Yeah, I want it to be facing the right way, so at least we don't get confused, right? We can see how this is set up and how it's going to work. Now that might not actually be the start line, but let's go and do our race lines first. Just walk away. It's tear me apart that you're living. I'm letting you go. Ho, ho, ho. And Santa Claus don't wanna know. No, he don't. He don't wanna know. No, no. 'Cause you're just a barefoot hoe. Where the hell is my race line? Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, we just stick that on there. A race path. Let's call them race path A, B, C, and D. So we're going to make a race path B. And what we're going to do is we're going to find its transform, which is there. I'm going to try and be very, very sneaky. Sneaky. There we go. It's probably a little bit on the small side. Okay, that one looks good. Just follow it. It kind of goes off there for some reason. It's kind of weird. Alright, it's got too much in one direction and it's fine in the other one. It should be centered at least. Okay, so we need to find that happy medium. Is this one the X? Whoa! Yep. And it wants to be bigger. 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 Not that big. Not that big. About there? Hell yeah. Heck yeah. Alright, now we've got our race line for B. So we've got the path to follow for B. Now we want racing path C. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Because you're worth it. L'Oreal. Not sponsored. It's just I'm just worth it. Just worth it anyway, you know. Alright, so fuck me. Okay, there it is. There it is. That looks good to me. I'm happy with that one. I'm happy with that one. Let me tell you. Oh boy. And now our final race path D. Oh, what's going on here? It's all these bumps in them. Look at that. Oh, no wonder the thing looks weird. I forgot that I put those weird bumps in the middle. I said I thought it would make it look a bit more realistic, but it just looks like health and safety hazard racetrack, you know. Pothole racetrack. And here we are for the grand racing at Race Pothole. Somebody didn't pay their council tax. Mind the gap. Alright, we've got... I think that's beautiful. I think that's absolutely beautiful. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I mean, next to a big pair of bouncing titties, that is. But yeah, aside from that, yeah, that's the most second most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Alright, so we are looking good. We've got race path A, B, C, and D set up. So now we can make... I mean, we can test it, right? Is if we... is if we duplicate our girls. Boop, boop, boop. Just for testing purposes. And we give girl 4 race path D, girl 3 race path C, and girl 2 race path B. And we press play. We should have 4 races. Are we facing the wrong way still? Yeah, they would be at a disadvantage. I'm not sure why they're jerking around like that. Wait, hang on. Oh no, I think they are in the right lanes. It's just the camera angle. Yeah, there we go. No, it kind of makes... it does look like it's jerking around a bit. It's quite funny. Yeah, the girl should be in the lead on the inner path if you think about it, right? Because she's got less distance to cover. So now we've got to figure out, like, how fair do we want to make it? I kind of knew that already. But wow, look at how much extra distance they had to cover. And then comes the last one. So whoever goes... now this is... Oh. Haha. How fair do we want this to be? Yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to race them because, fuck, I kind of knew that was the case, but I didn't think it would make that much of a difference. Like, obviously, like, the inside is less distance than the outside. If we wanted to be really smart, I guess what we could do... I'm wondering if we could make it so that they could change lanes, right? Oh, that's a lot of work though. Because we could do something like a raycast. And a raycast is we send a ray out from the girl's tentacle or whatever we want, right? The girl's chest, and then we see if we hit anything. And if we hit another girl, then that means there's a girl directly in front of us. So if there's a girl directly in front of us and we're wanting to take over that girl, then we would switch lanes, right? And then we'd wait to see if we're able to pass that girl or not. And then if we were able to successfully pass the girl, then we could switch to the better lane, right? Which has like less distance to cover. Yeah, boy, I didn't think it would make that much of a difference. We're only restarting one of the goals because I'm highlighting on one of the goals. Right, let's see it again. Let's see it again. So we've got path A, path B, path C, path D. Like I knew that it wasn't really fair having separate lanes for each goal, but I didn't think it would make that much of a difference. But yeah, I guess it makes sense, right? Oh dear. Why didn't I think of this sooner? I did think of this, but like I said, I didn't think it would be this much of it wouldn't have this much of a discrepancy. But yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense because they do like 3 laps as well, so they're covering a greater distance on the corners. Like, what is that? 12 times. So the girl in lane A has a massive advantage over the girl in lane D because she's got less distance to cover. Well, right now they're all running at the same speed, right? And you can see the difference between them. So I think what I need to do... Oh boy, this is going to be tricky. Right, the girls need to be able to change lanes on their own. They need to have... We need to have some form of AI lane changing intelligence. It's still quite cool though. I'm happy with the lanes. The lanes are cool as fuck, right? Because they are staying in their lanes and they're all running properly. And so at least I know that the lane pathing is absolutely perfect, right? But yeah, what we need to do is we need to have the ability to switch lanes, which was not my original plan, but it shouldn't be too hard. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Let's take a screenshot of that because I'm going to need that. Okay, let's put that down there. Not that blind. Okay, right. I'm going to create a capsule and we're going to make 4 materials because I'm not a material girl, because I don't like materials and I'm not a girl. Where the fuck is my models folder? Oh, yeah, found it. Okay, we're going to make a capsule A, a capsule B, a capsule C, and a capsule D. And these capsules are going to be responsible for the movement logic that our characters will be children of. That way we can visualize what's happening and keep an eye on what's happening. They're going to need to be different colors now because if they're swapping lanes, we're not going to know who the fuck's who, right? So if we make different colored materials for each racer, so let's do a yellow racer, that one's D. Let's do a cyan racer, that's C. Let's do a green racer, that's B, and a pink racer. It's the pinky purple, and that's A. Okay. So what this capsule is going to be doing is it's going to be roughly representing the size and shape of a girl, but not really. But just roughly enough so that we can basically do a raycast to see if there's a runner in front of us to know whether we need to switch lanes or not. Okay, so that looks fine to me. So we're going to do capsule A, B, C, and D. Capsule B. Capsule C, capsule D. C. And D. And if we set their materials, D goes in D, C goes in C, B goes in B, and A goes in A. These also need the sprinting script. Girl sprint. Wasn't it called girl sprint? What's it called? Girl runner. Close enough. Girl runner with the following attributes. Current speed 5, which is variable. Current index 0, current lap 1, total laps 3, start index 50. Yeah, that all actually got returned perfectly. Okay, that's brilliant. So now we can dump our girls just like the night of the prom. And we can, let's just press play and make sure everything's still working properly. Make sure they all move properly. Oh, I lost my camera. Yeah, hang on a sec. Okay, it's basically this one. Okay, and then rest lines. We can't follow. We'll just follow capsule A for now. We'll follow capsule A for now. Except it's literally at capsule A. What are we looking at? Okay, capsule A is the pink one. Wow, this is so hard to do from this angle. Let me just pull it back. I don't know where we're looking. I really don't know. Okay, let's try that. How does that look? Can we see what's happening? What is happening? Oh, I know what's... It might be depth. Depth might be the problem here. Oh, fuck, I can't believe I deleted that camera. Is it depth that's the problem? Yeah. Okay, depth wants to be 0 on that camera. There we go. Okay. And now nothing's moving. Why is nothing moving? Wait, do they have their race lines set up? No, they don't. That's why nothing's moving. Okay, so race path A for capsule A, race path B for capsule B, race path C for capsule C, and race path D for capsule D. Save and run. Whoa! Where the fuck are they going? What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? We're flying through the air. We're flying through the air. I don't know why they're doing that, because we set the height recorder function, right? So it should have registered the height as, okay, it should have registered the height as like 1.242. And then when we run it, it should stay at 1.242. And it goes to 7.46. Okay. Is it because I said local position? Oh, yes, it is. Okay. I think I know what the problem is. it should be position.y. There we go. Because we're using world position, not local position. I don't know how it worked before. There we go. All right, we're back in business. So we can see our capsules all running around, happy as can be. Except poor yellow on the outside's not very happy because he's at a huge disadvantage. That's what we're going to try and fix now. Alright. I better go just say hello and make sure everything's alright. Give me a second. One, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's mostly... There's also like a weird... Oh boy, are we gonna have to make some changes? It's fine because we're gonna make a trigger collider box. So at the moment, their finish lines don't even match up. But I suppose it's because it's a row of vertices, right? So these lines will have different scales to them. So that means the vertice positions shift as well. So in order to make the race fair, which is my mission now, is to try and make the race more fair. Yeah. This game's pay to win. What do you mean it costs 100 gacha currency to be in lane A? The fuck is this? What kind of pay to win bullshit is this? Can somebody explain this to me? I was still running. I thought that camera angle looked weird. Just give me a sec. Fuckity fuck. Let's just move it out a bit so we can see better. And should we be like looking head on at the capsules? Head on. Alright, let's see. Let's give it one more test, but I do need to go and just... I like this one. She's so pretty. This one looks ill. All right, give me a minute. You all right? Right. Alright, sorry about that. We are going to speak to GPT now. I have a one-on-one consultation with ChatGPT. I'm going to back this up though because it's looking pretty good. So let me first just give this a quick backup. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do a race manager script. Got a race manager script. It doesn't have a whole lot going on just yet. Ugh. I don't need that anymore. Come on, Unity, you can do it. You can do it. So what I'll do, I'll give each girl a private race manager. And also get component in parent of race manager. So the girls are currently sat, oh, they're the capsules now. And then race manager is in fact the parent. Perfect. And then similarly, our race manager is going to keep track of the girls. So let's do a list of girls. System collections generic. We'll just do a private list of girl runners. Girls equals new, and then void start. I'll just make it a public list because it's just easier. We'll just set it up in the inspector. And then we'll have public list of, how did we do it on girl runner? Public mesh filter. So if we do a list of mesh filters, and call it lanes. Okay, there we go. Okay, overview of solution. 1. Raycast ahead to check for a slow girl in front. If blocked, try switching to outer lane to overtake. If not blocked, try switching to inner lane, shortest, if it's free. Overtaking, return to shortest inner lane. Required system changes. Step 1. Add lane awareness. Each lane is a different mesh filter in your race manager. We'll index these and let each girl runner know her current lane index. In Race Manager, make sure each girl runner is assigned the correct lane mesh and index at start. Step 2, we're going to add raycasting to detect girl ahead. In Girl Runner Update, we'll add a check for someone in front by doing a raycast. Nice. And in Step 3, we'll attempt a lane change. Add a method that allows switching lanes. Okay, this should be fun. Right, give me a sec. Deal with stuff. Okay, let's see what we've got. That door's not going to close properly. Relax. Oh, we got again. Alright. Okay. Okay, so we have a current lane index. Well, I already assign. I don't think it's I don't think it understands. Surely it should understand though that in Girl Runner. Welcome back, thank you, Canthia. In Girl Runner, we have a public mesh filter of track path, which is the current lane that we're using. So it's like the first thing it's saying to add a lane index seems a bit weird because we should be able to figure that out already from the track path. In Race Manager, make sure each girl runner is assigned the correct lane mesh and index at start. Okay, let's just try it, I guess. Okay, let's see if things still work as they are. Yeah. Okay, everything's still working good. Okay. We're going to add ray casting to detect if a girl is ahead. Bool is blocked ahead in girl runner update. Okay. We'll put it at the end of update. Okay, if is blocked ahead. Bool is blocked ahead. Attempt lane switch adds a method that allows the switching of lanes. Combine it all in update. This doesn't want to be in update. I think what will happen is it will switch lanes immediately on the fly. Okay, let's try that. So at the moment, I think what it might do is just teleport the girls into their lanes. But I need like smooth transitions. The girls shouldn't just teleport into the lanes. They should smoothly transition into different lanes. But at the moment, that's not even working anyway. They're all just stuck in their original lanes. Nothing's changed. Oh, hang on. I never actually assigned my lanes and my girls. Okay. So we want capsule A, capsule B, capsule C, capsule D. We want race path A, race path B, race path C, and race path D. Well, let's see what that gives us. Okay, now they're all stuck in the inside lane, but they're not detecting each other. We have two girls merging into one. As sexy as that is, this is meant to be a... Oh my god, the girls are inside each other. We're going to get banned off Twitch. The girls have merged into one. The green girl is now inside of the blue girl. At least that's the last time I saw her anyway. And they're not switching lanes to try and overtake each other. Okay, so the thing that worked is they did all jump. So I'd say my two issues now are... Okay, I have two main issues. Two main issues after the changes were made. One, the girls are crashing into each other and not changing lanes after initial lane change to shortest path. And two, when changing lanes, the girls teleport there rather than smoothly transition across. Okay. Thanks for the update. Let's address both of your issues. Issue 1, girls crash into each other and don't change lanes again. Only checks immediately ahead for blocking runners. Doesn't persist lane changing behaviour. No cooldown, no state tracking. Doesn't retry in a lane if it becomes free again. Well, no, they're all stuck in the inner lane. I think it's a misunderstanding. No, they all jump to the inner lane, but then they get stuck in the inner lane and they won't try and... I suppose maybe one would need to be faster than the other. Let me try it again. Maybe because... Maybe it's actually looking to see if it can be faster. I think it said if a slow girl was ahead. So let's take one of our later girls and make her a little bit faster. So let's make her 6. Yeah, I didn't see her really switch lanes. Let's put it down to 4. Yeah, and nothing happened. Replace try switch lane with try switch lane smooth. Coroutine for smooth lane movement. Try switch lane smooth. Okay. Replace lane logic and update if time minus last last lane check time is greater than lane check cooldown. No, did you? Oh, it's a good job I didn't eat it then. I was looking at it and I thought, I wish I could eat that right now, but I can't. I just thought I'd all go.
It tasted better,
warmed up, yeah.
When I got it.
That's weird then, huh? Right, if time is greater than lane check. What am I replacing? Replace lane logic in update. What does it mean by lane logic? If try switch lane? I'm not sure what lane, which part is the lane logic. It must be if is blocked ahead. This bit, I think. I lost my is blocked ahead bool, which I still need in there. So I guess right there, that needs to be that. Okay. Issue 2, girls teleport between lanes instead of sliding. We did that part though, didn't we? Optional enhancements recommended later. Add a minimum distance buffer when raycasting ahead. Well, it didn't mention anything about the raycasting part of it. So like I don't really know what it's looking for when raycasting ahead, because it may well be picking up terrain depending on how. Okay, they switched lanes. We still have girls inside each other. The green and the blue love to be inside each other. Kinky bitches. So if we were, let's let yellow catch up. Which one's yellow? I don't know which one yellow is. Whatever, we'll just make one of them really fast. 6. Yeah, that one's yellow. Yeah, it still doesn't switch lanes when it's... And now make it 4. Fuck me. Right, let's let them start off a little bit. Yeah, so I take the yellow. Okay, the first thing I want to do. Right, this is not good at all. The first thing I want to do is I want to do a raycast exposed private int desired lane index null equals stay. Can you null an int? So ray distance is at 2. Let's try 2.5. Not sure how long it wants to be. Oh, it's looking for a layer mask of girl. No, it's not working. Right, maybe it did tell me that. Okay, we need a layer mask of girl. Let's do a layer mask of runner. So these aren't really... Girl's a bit too vague for the entire project that I'm doing, so we'll call it runner. Right, now how do we... Alright, we're going to use layer 7. I want to put them on layer 7. Okay, so these are the runners. Okay, that might explain why it wasn't working. And I also want to return physics raycast. I thought there was a rare hit or something like that. Well, let's see if it works just by adding that layer masking, because that would have made a difference actually. Oh, okay. Now they're being a bit spunky, you know. So the yellow one should come up. Here we go. It should switch to an outer lane to like overtake. Now it seems to like, I don't know, it's like it detects someone in front and then gives up and pulls back. Is she not fast enough? No, I don't know what the hell's going on there. Yeah, it's like she catches right up to them and then backs off and gives up. Right, in order to test this properly, let's set the race up to be 99 laps, because it's ending a bit too soon for me to do real testing on. Okay, so I need to give yellow more speed. Yeah, so she's switching lanes. Okay, she finally eventually overtook. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't even know where she went. I slowed it down so oh, here she is. Purple should move out the way now and move to, yeah, it actually did. Yeah, but then something, wait, there's no way we did 99. There's no way we did 99 laps there. Fuck off. We didn't do 99 laps. Yeah, they kind of behave really weird at the start though, because at the start they all start at the start they all sort of like move left and right and don't even move forward. It's very strange. But they need, like, at the start they need to sort of like just run forward for a bit, right? I mean, the other issue we've got is I think maybe I need to start putting the like variation speed logic in here, because it's kind of hard to test. Okay, so we're going to do a private float next speed roll. Which we'll set to 3. So they'll all get the first speed roll at 3 seconds to make it fair. Okay. This is tricky to test whilst all runners are at the same speed. So I've added logic to randomize speed like this. In updates, can we transition up or down to the new speed across .5 of a second to smooth out the results. Okay. Okay, this is tricky to test while all runners are at the same speed. So I've added logic to randomize speed like this in update. If time is greater than the next speed roll, then set speed is a random range between 4 and 6.5. Next speed roll is time between the next 2 seconds and 5 seconds. Absolutely, smoothing speed transitions will help both gameplay and debugging by preventing jerky runner movements and making overtakes more natural. Overtakes more natural. Oh, we've got a way to go before we'll get that. Okay, float, set speed. Abrupt jump. Currently you're setting current speed. You're setting current speed instantly. Solution, step-by-step changes. Add these fields to Girl Runner. Okay. Oh boy, we're getting quite a lot of variables here, aren't we? Three seconds. I guess we could start it off immediately and do our first re-roll at the start. Because I guess, like, even in Umamusume, sometimes it'll say, like, slow start or something like that. So I guess that makes sense that you might not get off to a great start rather than everybody gets off to the exact same start. Yeah, okay. You've convinced me. Let's set our first speed roll to 0. It would have done a roll straight away anyway because we were going off time since level load. So, well, what would have happened is in my testing at the start of the level we would have waited 3 seconds, but every other time we ran this we would have done a random roll for speed anyway. Modify start to set an initial speed target. Target speed equals current speed. Modify update to do the speed roll, and then we do a smooth transition underneath that. So that's this part. Okay. Okay, so let's see it now. So forget about the lane overtaking for now. the thing I'm testing right now this very second is, are we getting varying speeds? We should be getting varying speeds throughout the race. Yeah, okay, we definitely got a lot more variation there. Yeah, it's definitely like fucked up at the start, the way they sort of like jiggle left and right because they're like confused. We need to fix that for a start. Okay, this green one must be going nice and fast. Yeah, this is looking much more interesting already. But the problem is the green seems to... I don't know whether the green hits the raycast and then just like fucking decides to back off. It's like they're too scared to overtake the player in front. It's so weird. Where yellow's decided to go for another race. Yellow's like, fuck this, I'm still running. I haven't had my fill. I'm trying to get a better view of this whole thing. Why is yellow the only one that pays attention to how many laps we're supposed to do? That doesn't really make sense. Yellow's the only one that pays attention to how many laps we're supposed to be doing. Everybody else gave up. It also goes up to this. Which lane's it in right now? Oh, it's on the inside lane now. Okay, let's watch it. What does it do? It's on the inside lane. Okay, it does. It's very weird. It slides over to the right correctly to change lanes, but then as soon as it's like lined up with the runner on the left, it then switches back to the inside lane. So we need like more of a cooldown, I think, on like going back to the inside lane. And also like it completely just sidesteps forward. Oh, camera's well fucked now. Oh, Jesus. I fucking hate this camera. This camera's the bane of my life. This camera's the bane of my life. What does that look like? Okay, that's actually better. We get a better view than we ever did before. Okay, I'm liking the speed variation. It looks very good. Yeah, one of the main problems right now is when they change lanes, they stop moving forward. They just like sidestep across the lanes. They need to continue moving forward as they're changing lanes. Okay. Okay. Things are kind of working. But with caveats. One, at the start of the race, everybody wiggles from left to right, confused about changing lanes. Since each runner starts in a specific lane, lane changing should be ignored for the first 3 seconds of the race. We also kind of need to make sure there's nobody in the lane to our left or our right either. Okay, at the start of the race, everybody wiggles from left to right, confused about changing lanes. Obviously, raycasting would not detect a runner in front, but they are also forbidden from changing lanes if someone is already in that lane to their side. We can easily detect position and current lane of other runners via we can easily detect position and current lane of other runners via race manager. So perhaps something like if other runner in desired lane is within 3 indexes of me, don't change. Two, when lanes are changing, the runner moves sideways and completely stops running forward. Please stops moving forward until the lane change is complete. Runners should continue forward momentum at all times. Okay, things are kind of working, but with caveats. One, at the start of the race, everybody wiggles from left to right, confused about changing lanes. Obviously, raycasting would not detect a runner in front, but they are also forbidden from changing lanes if someone is already in the lane to their side. We can easily detect position and current lane of other runners via race manager, so perhaps something like if other runner is in desired lane within 3 indexes of me, don't change. When lanes are changing, the runner moves sideways and completely stops moving forward until the lane change is complete. Runners should continue forward momentum at all times. Okay. Great observations. You're close. Let's solve both of these issues. Issue 1. Start of race wiggling, constant lane switching. Ensure runner tries to move to the shortest lane immediately, even if there's no actual need to overtake. If the side lane is technically open, they all spam sideways. Changes resulting in jittery motion. Solution. Before switching lanes, we should only allow lane changes if there's a runner ahead blocking me, or I'm returning to the inner lane safely. Reject side lane changes if any runner is within 3 index steps of me in that lane. In try switch lane smooth, in new lane index, before allowing the switch. So bool is lane clear. So are we adding this bool? Looks like we're adding this bool. Okay, so we're adding this bool is lane clear. Okay, bool is lane clear. For each var other in raceman.girls, if other equals this, continue. If other current lane index is not target lane index, continue. Lane, so we've got a target lane index, so that's our desired lane, and my index. Distance, maths absolute other current indices minus my index. If the index is less than or equal to 3. Also, I noticed that our ray trace, when we do the lane switch, I can change that easily though. Basically our raycast is too short, so it takes us too long before we switch lanes when the wayhead is blocked. So we need to increase our raycasting distance. So it's currently at 2.5. I think that should be at least 6 to be honest. Okay. Then update your call in the lane switch check. If lane is not clear, new lane index, current index, return false. Update your call in the lane switch check. So I think we could do that at the start of. So we've got a bool is blocked ahead. Oh, bool is lane clear. Oh, that's the lane switch check. So I think it's saying we can put it here at the top of the attempt to change. We don't have access to is lane clear though, so it can't mean there. I think it's. I think bool. Right, the bool of is lane clear wants to be outside of this update function, I think. So we're adding it to the main script, and then we can do on an attempt at a lane switch. Where the fuck is that? Try switch lane smooth. There we go. And then we can call that function check and break. Wait, it says return false. Oh yeah, because it is a bool. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Issue 2, lane change halts forward movement. When switching lanes using vector 3 lerp start position to end position, you're overriding the runner's position completely. No forward movement happens during this time. Solution, use offset based lane switching where forward movement still happens via move towards or path index. Lane switching is handled as a lateral offset applied on top of path position. Okay. Add a lane offset field. Oh boy. This is getting kind of nuts actually. This is pretty cool though. It's doing a decent-ish job. We don't need that collider anymore because we don't actually use that. But we do need that. Okay. Update your updates. Update your updates. That sounds like a great update, like a 1980s pop song or something. Update your update. Update it now, baby. Vector 3 best target path points current index. Update your update to apply the offset like this. Okay, so we want these lines here in update. update your update to apply offset like this. Right, I don't know where lane offset. Lane offset is the thing that we just applied, that we just declared. So when we're switching lanes, I'm a little bit confused about this bit, because this bit directly, there's no if checks or anything, and transform position being overridden would suggest that these two lines here are now redundant and that this now replaces this, which I think is what it's saying. Switch lane coroutine. Now we've got to switch lane coroutine. Did we have one of those already? Is lane clear? Yes. So we've got an updated switch lane coroutine. We're fucking vibe coding right now. But now it's saying track path equals new track. The fuck is this? What? New, what the, where's it even getting these from? New track, new path points, new lane index. Okay, it may be starting to hallucinate. Because it's changed the switch lane coroutine to take a vector 3 input of direction, but previously we were taking a mesh filter of new track, a vector 3 array of new path points, and an integer of new lane index. Some of the code still references those old variables, even though it wiped them out from the input. So that's not making a whole lot of sense. Let's just run it as it is, because I feel like I don't know how much else it may have hallucinated. Let's just see if everything works except... So what did we fix? Oh my god, what did we fix? We should have... Okay, we added the logic to say that it should stop the wiggling at the start, because we added the logic to make sure that anybody who's within 3 indices of us on the... across the list of waypoint indices, I guess, is what they kind of are. Sorry, vectors. Not vectors, what the fuck are they? The geometry thing. Whatever, I know what I mean, and I'm... What the fuck? They've run over the other side. They ran over to the other side of the track. What the fuck? What the hell was that all about? Okay, that was really weird. They run over to the other side of the track. I don't know what the hell that was about. There are so many issues with this, I don't even know where to start. So I guess, yes, technically, we stopped them wiggling side to side at the start of the race, but also right, if you think about it, like current lap and total laps, like total lap and lap start index, like there are some variables here that are obviously the same, that are controlled by the race. So the first thing I want to do, I might ask Claude. I feel like this is too much for GPT. I might actually ask Claude about this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to revert back to... I need to revert back to the previous version of the script. I should have backed it up, really. It's okay, we can Control and Z and hopefully figure out... What was its first instruction to us? The first thing we changed in try switch lane smooth. A bool of is lane clear was added, so this we no longer use this. Okay. Yeah. Try it now. I want to go back to how it was. What I'm going to do is I'm going to restructure this slightly so that the variables that relate specifically, yeah, they're back to wiggling again. Now that's good. This is like the best version thus far. But yeah, they kind of give up. Well, I think this is why it looks weird, right? I think the main problem is that forward momentum gets lost. So as a runner is about to overtake another runner, because they stop moving forward completely and they waste their time switching lanes, obviously they're falling further and further back as they do that. So now suddenly it's like, oh, I can't overtake the runner anymore because they lost too much speed. Well, they lost all their speed basically. So I think that's the main issue now. Obviously the wiggling at the start as well, which is like, we need to make sure that oh boy. Okay. Yeah, also, oh, actually, I think I know why. Yeah, and this is why they weren't doing 9 laps, because they are not... Wait, did they... Yeah, because the other ones were set to 3. So remember when I was saying, oh, how come Capsule D is the only one that does, like, 99 laps? Well, it's because Capsule D was the only one that was told to do 99 laps. But that doesn't make sense, right? These are things that should be part of the race. So let's start by... Let's start by backing it up, actually, because this is, I'd say this is our best version of the script up to now, but it's definitely got some issues. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is improve this system. So there are some things that are completely race related and not runner related, and that would be total laps, lap start index, and lap end index. So I'm going to take these variables, I'm going to delete them from the script completely, and I'm going to give them to the race manager, because they should belong to the race manager. Okay. And then we're going to get errors in here saying, ugh, what is lap start index? Well, now we can say raceman lap start index. Raceman lap start index. Raceman lap start index. Raceman, raceman, raceman. Okay. Okay, I think I'm going to ask Claude for help with this, because I think Claude might do a better job. Okay. Let's make sure we've got a backup of that though. Okay. I'm trying to make a girl sprinting race minigame in Unity. Things are kind of working, but with caveats. One, at the start of the race, everybody wiggles from left to right, confused about changing lanes. Obviously, raycasting. Okay. Raycast checks to see if runner is blocking in a lane to initiate lane switch. Okay, can you help me fix these issues? Race manager girl runner. For runners and for racing lanes. Alright, let's try it. Let's see what Claude can tell us. Alright, Claude AI. Let's go. I'm not signed in. Claude is dead. Claude was murdered 3 days ago by ChatGPT in cold blood. Claude, help me. Okay, let me try a refresh. Okay, verify my age. I'm gonna dox on my fucking birthday. The fuck? Why is there an influx of children asking Claude how to? I was gonna be gross then, but I won't. Since we're talking about children, I was gonna say jack off. Help me jack off. How do I do it? What is wrong with me? I don't know. It's probably the stupid thing that I would have asked as a stupid child just to see what it said. Because I'd probably find it funny. Okay, we're back. We're in business. Okay. I'm trying to make a girl sprinting race minigame in Unity. Things are kind of working, but with caveats. Looking at your code, I can see two main issues you're experiencing. Let me help you fix them. Issue 1, the raycast logic is causing confusion at race start and not properly checking for runners in target lanes. Issue 2, runners stop forward momentum during lane changes. Here are the fixes. Alright. Do we trust it? Well, we've got it backed up, right? So it's like, let's make sure this new version of the script though is the latest one that's backed up, because this one, our previous backup still had the, you know, the race variables, so that's updated now. Okay. Additional improvements. So I think it just gave me a new Go runner script. Yeah, it did. Which fixed everything, allegedly. Alright, let's see it. Give me the whole script. Race manager does not exist yet because you're capitalizing my lowercases. It's not a race manager. It's a race manager. It's a... Wait, what? Race man. Okay, it made one tiny mistake. Hopefully that's the only mistake it made. Says me, expert coder. Alright, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Whoa. Oh, we got some. Whoa. Well, this is an exciting race, I'll tell you that. Oh, they're falling over each other. I don't know what they're doing. They're having a fight, aren't they? Oh, I don't know. They're kind of going a bit nuts. I don't even know whether the raycasting is working properly. I kind of need to debug the raycasting. Well, I'll tell you one thing. That's the most interesting race we've had so far. Let's get a top-down view and watch it again. Because that was kind of confusing. It was interesting though, but we can get a better idea if we can see a bird's eye view of it, right? Yeah, they're still switching lanes without moving forward. They're switching lanes like fucking crazy now though. Now I think the main issue now is when they're switching lanes. This is kind of interesting though, right? Doesn't it look a lot better? Yeah, but they're doing a really weird... They look really weird when they're switching lanes, and they still lose all forward momentum. And they almost... I like how they kind of, except for this naughty last one here, they kind of figure out that they have to park in the other lanes as well, which is kind of funny. It's 99% there, right? The main issue... Okay. It really is 99% there now. However, the motion when changing lanes still causes complete loss of forward momentum and almost looks Let's see it again. I need to understand what is going wrong. Do we think the ray tracing part is working correctly? Okay. Yeah, no, there's something wrong. Okay. However, it really is 99% there. However, the motion when changing lanes still causes complete loss of forward momentum. And now the runner in front stops and changes lanes as the runner behind catches up. It should be the runner trying to overtake in front that changes lanes to do so. You're absolutely right, the logic is backwards. The runner behind should be the one changing lanes to overtake, not the one in front. And we need to fix the forward momentum issue during lane changes. Let me fix both problems. Okay, at least it doesn't gaslight you like GPT. GPT would be like, well, what you're doing is you're being a fucking idiot, and you wrote this shit line of code here. Who wrote the line of code, GPT? You did? Not me. This is pretty close, though. This is looking pretty good. I gotta say, this is looking pretty good. Okay, it fixed some overtaking logic. Now the runner behind catching up initiates the lane change, not the one in front. So it recognized that it did get that backwards. Okay. So we can copy the script. Imagine how cool, imagine how good this is going to be when it gets better. It still made that same strange mistake when because it referenced Race Manager correctly there, but then it references it incorrectly down there. It's kind of weird. But if that's the only mistake it made, then that's fine. I can forgive it. I'll forgive you, Claude. I'll forgive you. Alright, let's see it. I'm so excited. Okay, let's see. They're all still in their lanes. Okay, they're like, oh, they're jittering around all over the place. What the fuck? Yeah, they kind of dart around. Like, it's better, but they dart around like going crazy. What the hell? They're like teleporting around. And then they slide back a little bit as well. Oh, if we can just smooth this out, it looks so good. What the fuck was that at the end? Yeah, the end of the race is kind of messed up as well. Oh man, that was so close. Let's see it again. It's kind of weird though, right? It doesn't have the same. So this is too much for Claude as well. Yeah, they still like, as they're changing lanes, they still like. Why can't it figure out the forward momentum thing when changing lanes? Those two just phase through each other. It probably wouldn't look that bad. It depends what the camera's looking at the time, right? Could get away with a couple of little glitches like that, but it's the weird, the worst part about it is the lack of forward momentum. It would look so unnatural, and then now this weird like zooming forward like at an insane speed. Yeah, I think it's like probably worse than the version before it. Oh dear God. Oh dear God. I got a really bad feeling that I'm gonna need to like painstakingly pick this apart and the ray casting must be working though. So the good news is the ray casting seems to be working, because if the ray casting wasn't working, and also like why was green hanging in that lane for so long, and then they decide to switch lanes back here for like no reason. For like no logical reason. What are they doing? It's so weird. And they spin it around like a madman. It's so funny. It's so close though. It's actually kind of close. But it's just not quite there. It's so close though. It's so close. Okay, I'm gonna need to restore my script back to the backup. Claude can't help us. I think it got us 99% there. It did get us 99% there. But the last 1% is going to be such a pain in the ass. Especially given that I didn't actually write the code myself. Well, some of it I did, but like a lot of it I didn't write. So we now have to like reverse engineer every single line of code and figure out exactly what's going wrong. Right. Like this is pretty close. The main issue with it now, like I say, the main issue is when they change lanes. But yeah, this thing's like changing. Even this one's changing lanes at strange times. Like they're changing lanes when they shouldn't be. And why did this one change lanes there? But and the worst part is it wouldn't look anywhere near as bad if they didn't just like stop moving forward the whole time. Let's see it again. It's also difficult with the capture rules. It's kind of difficult because if you look, they rotate really weird as well. It's also kind of difficult to tell which way is facing forward. I'm going to assume that the blue arrow facing forward is the way it should be facing, which means it's right most of the time. But yeah, that's the other thing that's kind of weird, right? When they change lanes, I think that maybe it's confused about what's going wrong. I think what's more jarring when they change lanes is they, like, not only do they stop and move sideways, but they like turn in a weird, to face a weird direction. It's like it's like their calculation to face forward gets messed up as they get a different lane to focus on. Damn it. This is so close. Yet, it's just not quite there. Also, I think we need to turn down the speed of the simulation to make it easier to debug. So we need to be running this simulation at like 1/10 of the speed we intend to run it at, because I need to understand everything that's happening at every single stage of the race. So I can't see it at the intended speed because it's just too much happening at once. So to give my brain a chance to Is this the one where they wiggle side to side when they start? Yeah. Okay. That's because currently they all desire the shortest lane, and they do a raycast to see whether the way is blocked ahead, and if the way is blocked ahead, returns false, which it will when they all start the race because there's nobody directly in front of them, then they'll go ahead and switch lanes. So we need an additional check which says make sure there's nobody occupying my desired lane within like a couple of indices. But you'll notice that it's not doing a ray cast necessarily, it's doing a physics sphere cast. And the check radius is at 0.5. Okay. Let me turn that up and see what the effect is. So we're not actually doing a ray cast, we're doing a physics sphere check now. Really helped it out. Yeah, blue there just changed lanes. They're changing lanes like for like no reason. Like they're choosing an outer lane when the lane ahead isn't even blocked. And even if there's somebody ahead, like the AI shouldn't just change lanes if somebody's... The AI should only attempt to change lanes if the runner has enough speed to overtake the player in front. I almost wonder if it might be better to just completely ditch everything that Jippity's done for this like lane changing thing, because I don't think it's going to work out at all. And since I'm going to need to come up with the solution, I'm going to need to kind of do it myself from scratch. So okay, let's take a look. Let's see what this version's like. Is this version... this version won't have had the... Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Right. Switch a lane coroutine. Anything to do with lane switching, I'm just going to pluck it right out, because it clearly doesn't work. And why do we have a lane check time? I think it said it was doing that to implement a lane checking cooldown. I don't think that should be necessary. Okay, so this is the script with everything lane related stripped out. Hold up. Okay, so right now we're back to them just staying in their original lane. But they have varying speeds. Okay, I think maybe what we do. Here's what I think we do. On enable, whatever current index Let me think about this. Do we see that in the inspector? Yes. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good. So this will be lane 1, 2, 3, and 4, or A, B, C, and D. And then we can mark whether the lane is clear or not. And so essentially what our logic wants to do is it wants to try to get to the lowest possible lane if it's clear. If it's not clear, then we've got to stay in the lane. If we've got enough momentum that we feel like we can overtake, then we'd probably start going into the outer lanes because we want to take this opportunity to try and overtake this other thing. So the first thing we need to do is accurately calculate whether the lanes are clear or not for each runner. Although that is a lot of calculation for a lot of lanes that we probably wouldn't want to be using. So like at the start, so the current lane index would be 0, 1, 2, and 3. Let me think about this. As we start, this needs to be a repeatable thing as well. So as at the start, so we need to do void on enable. I don't know why it said to do this in match run at a lane. I don't know why it said to do this in race manager. That's a weird reason to do it. I don't think we actually need this part. Because we already kind of do that in inspector. I think on enable, we can do that for each girl runner, right? So on enable, we can say track path equals track man race man current lane index. Right, current lane index. Right, here's where it's going wrong. That current lane index should be a private variable. Although we kind of need to see it. Well, at the very least, it should be hidden in the inspector. And the one that should be public, we'll call it start public int start lane index. Okay, and then on enable, we can set current lane index equals start lane index. Track path is raceman dot lanes at current lane index is the track path, and that's basically it. So then what we can do is make sure that those starting lanes are correct for when we on enable. So this one starts in lane 0, this one starts in lane 1, this one starts in lane 2, and this one starts in lane 3. So let's first of all make sure that that didn't break anything. Shouldn't have done. Yep. That's fine. Okay. So yeah, I think it was kind of on the right path with the bool. So we need a bool. Is lane clear? I think it is a bit unnecessary to calculate whether the lane's clear or not. Int lane index. Okay. So the way we do this is we say for each girl runner get girl in race manager girls if the first condition that should be met. I mean, actually we'll default this to say it's true because it's probably most likely true actually, because then we can just say, look, if this girl's current lane index is lane index, then they may in fact be blocking our way. So the next thing we need to do is look at their lap index thing, right? If get girls current lap is current lap and get girls current index is within 3. Okay, so what we need to do then is do, hang on a sec, we do bool, we can do int, let me think of this. How do you do differences? I suppose it doesn't matter if they're behind, I guess, although I want it to be within 3. Well, we could just say int difference equals get girl current index minus my current index. And then there's a way to make a negative number positive, and I think it's that you add itself times 2 or something like that. But we don't need to go that crazy. We can just say if difference is what are we saying? Greater than minus 3 and less than 3. So greater than -4 and less than 4, then is clear equals false. Break. Can we just say here, if is lane clear is false, then return false. Okay, we need to bool it first. Bool check clear equals is lane clear. Oh, we also need to give it an int. Also, maybe we can do it like that. So, well, we don't know what the desired lane is yet, do we? Maybe it's better to do it in is lane clear. I think that's what this is supposed to be doing. Shit. That might be a more sophisticated way of doing it. But I don't know whether it actually works or not. Yeah, also these functions need to be in the root. So the first thing we would want to say is if current lane index is greater than 0, target lane index, my index. I don't know where we would send it my index, because my index is always current index, but whatever. Right, first thing, I'm going to teleport to the lane just to see if it's working. So if check lane, then current path, or whatever it's called. What is it called? Track path. Track path equals race man paths. I thought it was called paths. Lanes. Current lane index minus 1. And then, well, we could just say current lane index, and then before we do that, we'll say current lane index down. It's more complicated than that though, because we might basically, if we have speed and momentum, and we're looking to overtake another runner, it would be beneficial for us to go on the outside lane to overtake that runner if we have enough speed and power to overtake that runner and momentum. But for now, let's just try that. Okay, so what that hopefully should do, it'll check that bool function to see whether it's working or not. So as they separate out from each other, yeah, they're not doing it at all. They should have like shifted down into the inner lanes. Also, why the fuck are we debugging the end of a fucking lap? It's finished. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so why didn't that work? If current lane index is greater than 0, then do a bool to check is the lane clear, current lane index minus 1, and send it our current lane index. If check lane returns true, as in it is clear, then we should go down a current lane index and set the track path to the new current lane index. Why isn't that working, I wonder? Well, we can't see the current lane index because we made it. Right, they are saying this is the other weird thing. It kind of did work. Okay, here's the weirdest part. I think what happens is we have... I think I know what's happening. Okay, I think what happens is we have a bunch of path points, and path points are created... Okay, yeah, I see what happens. So what we need here is we need a void set path int path index. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll set path points wants to do this. Ay. Right, which means path points local vertices needs to be declared up here. Track path mesh dot vertices. Just declare it there. Local vertices equals okay. Yes. I don't know why we're using an array for a start. Can you do that? Apparently we are. So then what we can do is we can say set path at start lane index. And then as we switch paths, we now need to say set path. Set path current lane index. Okay, let's try that. That should teleport us onto the correct lanes as we switch lanes. It was working kind of, because there we go. Oh, mine looks way better. It happened so much faster. Yeah, but it only happened, wait, it only happened once, didn't it? No, we're not doing it. What the fuck is going on? I swear this is really starting to piss me off. So it's set to race path A. So the logic is working and the bool is working, but the path nodes aren't being... this is why I hate fucking... This is why I fucking hate arrays. Right, we're not using an array. We're using a list of vector 3s because they're just so much more superior. That's how I would have done it. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god. You can't... Okay, you can't... It's because that's an array, that's why. Oh, you fucking piece of shit. Why would you do that, Unity? Why do you use arrays? Arrays suck. Vector 3. Get vertices. Oh my god, I fucking hate this shit. Equals track path point vertices. That will work, right? No, that won't work either. Because it wasn't a fucking array, that's why. Right, now that'll work. So then we want... local vertices clear, and then for each vector 3 get vec in local vertices local vertices add get vec. Okay, path points. Why are we doing this 42 times? I don't understand. Path points equals a new vector 3 at local vertices count. Well, this time we length, which this time we use count. And then, okay, and then local vertices count I++. Does that work? Fuck me, this is so ridiculous. I hate arrays. I really do hate arrays. Index out of range. Outside the bounds of the array. What? Okay, it's because I said get vec in local vertices. I should have said get vertice. Okay, let's try that. It's still not fucking doing it. Like, those two went into the same lane as each other. But everybody else is still stuck in the same lane. I don't fucking understand. Right, let me use my bool. No, because it's not the bool that's at fault, right? It's the path following function that's at fault. And the reason I know why is because everybody's been told to go on race path A. And yet they're still following fucking race path B. Most of them are on race path B. Oh my god, this doesn't make any sense. This is driving me insane. Right, hang on. Path index. Get vertice equals track path mesh dot vertices. Right, okay, I know what's going wrong. Instead of saying track path, we need to say, okay, we could say get track. Let's call it get track. So track path is a mesh filter. So we need a mesh filter get path which wants to equal track manager. I know what's wrong. Where's track manager? Race manager. Race man dot lanes at position path index. Right, then we say get path dot mesh dot indices vertices. There we go. We weren't actually switching tracks through the race manager, that's why. Okay, that should work now. Yeah, they're just kind of teleporting. It's still not entirely fucking working though, is it? This is actually, I can't believe how mad this is making me. Like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, every single one of these runners knows that they should be on race path A. Every single one of them. And yet they're still following the wrong fucking set of vertices. I swear to God, I'm getting so fucking mad. Create a vector 3 array of get vertice, which equals get path, which was the mesh renderer at raceman lanes at path index, dot mesh dot vertices. Then we clear the local vertices, which is the thing. I believe that's the thing that we should be reading from, right? Yeah, it's our new list of local vertices. Oh, but we're using path points. Ah, oh, fuck. Yeah. But then we tell it, so that must not work then. How the fuck do you clear an array? So path points also wants to be a list. This is why I fucking hate arrays. Oh my god, I fucking hate arrays so much. I don't know how anybody works with them. They're so annoying. Lists are just so much fucking better. I don't understand how people use arrays. Path points dot clear now, we can say. We don't need to construct it because it was a constructed declaration, because they're so much better than fucking lists. Except here we don't say I equals, we can just say add. Because they're so much more superior than fucking arrays. And now it's saying length because that's now count. Okay. There. Now it should work because we're using lists instead of fucking arrays. Arrays suck balls. I fucking hate arrays. I always fucking have it. I always will. I hate them. I absolutely hate them. Right. We got one switching lanes. Oh my god, I swear to god, I'm going to jump out of the fucking window. Why is this not working? I don't understand. This is like, honestly, this is like bang your head against a fucking brick wall. Only one cat. Well, they all jump down. The weird thing is they all go to lane. They all... What is happening? They all go to... They're all using the path progression. My race manager's set up correctly, right? Yeah, A, B, C, D. Of course it is. So, what? I don't even understand what is happening. I do not understand what is happening. I'm gonna publicly expose my penis. No, I'm gonna publicly expose the current track variable. Right, current lane index, because I need to make sure that that's set right. Something's wrong and I need to know what it is, and it's literally driving me fucking round the bend like these runners. Actually gonna kill somebody. Right, 99 laps, so we can find out what the fuck is happening. Okay. What are you fucking dipshits doing, really? So it thinks its current lane index is 0, which would be correct. They all have the correct current lane index. They all have the correct track path. And yet... we are still following the wrong set of track nodes. But it's so bizarre how they all... Oh wait, I wonder if it's because I said greater than 0 or something, didn't I? Wait a minute. Yeah, so so once they're in lane 1, they should still apply, and then they should be checking lane 0 for clarity. So then either something, so I don't know what he's understanding. I don't understand what is going wrong. Right, for debugging purposes, I'm going to add a public bool is lane A clear, which I'll default to false. Right, then when we check, is lane clear, I set it to false here, I set it to true here, and that should accurately represent whether that's returning true or false for each runner for lane A. So I can check to see whether lane A is coming back as clear or not. Something is wrong and I don't know what it is. So it... Okay, so what the fuck is going... Why then? So it's saying lane A is clear. Lane A is clear. Lane A is clear. Lane A is not clear, but that's probably because this runner's the one that started in lane A and they ain't fucking moving from it. So they haven't had to check whether lane A is clear or not, because they pretty much are lane A. So that's... All of that is exactly what I would expect it to be. And yet, our current lane index is set at 0. But we're still clearly following the nodes. Yeah, I suppose I didn't really need that debug because we wouldn't end up with current lane index of 0 if the lane wasn't being reported as clear in the first place. So really that was a bit silly of me, because I probably should have realized that. But I'm just kind of getting desperate trying to figure out why the fuck this isn't working. Okay, so let's just back up a little sec. So the lane is being reported as clear. The current index is being set at 0. The current fucking path mesh renderer is being set as 0 for the path points. So if all of that is working, the only place it can be going wrong is still this list of fucking path points. I don't see anything wrong with that at all. It's using path points. Path points is now a list of vector 3s, which when we set the path using the path index, we clear it out, and we rebuild the list based on local vertices.count. Local vertices is copied from the array that it gets through raceman lanes at path index. So unless set path index is being called incorrectly, it shouldn't be though, because I decremented the current lane index. Look, I decrement. If check lane is clear, then we decrement the current lane index. Then we set path at current lane index, and we set the track path. This part is working. And we're using current lane index. So how could this not be working? It doesn't make any sense. How is that not working? How? We get it from lanes at path index. We get a vector 3 array get vertices of get paths dot mesh dot vertices. We clear local vertices list, and for each vector 3 get vec and get vertice, we add to our local vertices the current vector. Then we clear path points, and from index 0 to local vertices count while incrementing, we say track path transform point, local vertices at I. That's such a fucking weird way of doing it. I hate for loops as well. This is fucking all GPT's fault. Like, why not just for each? Like, that's such a fucking weird way of saying it. Like, why do it like that? Where is track path? Oh, you know what it is? It's using track path points. I know why it's not working. It's because we set... I didn't realize this was reading from track path. That's such a fucking weird... Oh my god, Jippity's made such a mess of this. Okay, now I know why it's not working at least. It's because we... Why didn't know it was using track path? It's because we set the track path after we set path, but set path relies on track path. Hang on a sec. Instead, then, what I'll do is there, instead of doing that, we did that after we ran set path. So instead, I'm just going to put it, to make sure we don't run into this problem again, at the top of set path, I'm going to set the track path through set path. There we go. It should work now. Fuck me. Okay, now I know why it wasn't working. Now I know why it wasn't working. Okay. Right, we're in the inner lane. The only one that's not in the inner lane was, yeah, Mr. Yellow there. Now, Mr. Yellow kind of cut in front of Mr. Pink a little bit. But yeah, that, like, this is way better than what Jibbity gave us. Okay, green just phased through purple, but that's because we haven't got the raycasting thing in front yet. And there's no, like, overtake on the outer loop function yet. But I'm going to do that as a different function. And purple just phased through green. Yeah, so they're all going to stay. I'll only get to see this work at the start because there is no, like, lane changing in the other direction. So let's see it again. Does it teleport? I think it kind of does. I think it does move towards, though, doesn't it? They do kind of teleport a little bit when they switch lanes. Yeah, it's kind of tricky. I'm not sure how you would solve that, actually. Okay, so far this is the best version of the script we have. It's still not finished. I'm starting to go a little bit cuckoo. Okay, so now our biggest issue, I just want to make sure we've got a backup of it. So now our biggest issue is we need to, we're not using is lane clear or is blocked ahead. Also, like, yeah, I will. Okay, let's see it again. There was a point where is lane clear. We said, like, greater than or equal than 3. I think it should also be. Yeah, I think my logic was better though as well. Is this if distance is less than or equal to 3 and greater than or equal to -3 and distance is greater than or equal to -3. There. Oh, so maybe that should be an OR. That should be an OR. Yeah, let's see if that looks better. Because the way it currently is, they overtake each other, like, they cut each other off at the front a little bit too much. And I'm hoping that'll fix that. Okay, that kind of broke the lane switching logic. Did I fuck up my logic? Okay, yeah, that broke it completely. What I'm worried about though, I'll ask Jupiter for help with this if this is the case. Switching lanes at distance we don't know what distance is, because by the time we get to distance it's going to be okay. We just need to do int distance equals 999 and then distance equals, and then we can say distance. All I'm curious about is, does it ever do it where distance is negative? Because if it does, then we need to include that validity check in our logic. Okay, distance was 4 and 6. 4 and 6. And 4. Okay, let's start it again. We need to do a few runs. Distance is 4. Distance was 4. Distance was 5. The logic is working though, because look, that blue one can't swap in, but when he does jump in, distance was at 4. Yeah, I might need to increase that then, because it's still a little too... Okay, we'll say 4 is the cutoff. see if that's a little bit better. Like he jumped, like when they cut in front, it's actually kind of crazy. They're like cut by. Also, it doesn't help that they immediately teleport into the lanes, right? Because at the moment we can't find a sophisticated way to do it. It's complicated though, right? Because you have like a bunch of points that you're basically iterating through, right? Which are like positions that the thing has to thingy towards. But you have like a bunch of them here, right? So like even if you move towards the next position, you will go forward and to the side, like across a multitude of frames. You won't do it like immediately on the frame, but because some of the, especially on the corners, there's so many vertices so close together, it looks like they pretty much teleport forward. Like they pretty much teleport to the side when they're switching lanes. Like it just happens way too quickly. And so I know when I first started doing like 3D movements, like you don't realize that there is no up, down, left and right, because it's all relative to your current position, right? So it's easy in your brain to think, well, obviously we're moving left into the lane, so can't we just transition left? Well, you could if you knew where left was. Because left is different when you're here, right? Left is in this axis, but when you're here, left is literally in the opposite axis because you've turned around 180 degrees. So left is like relative, so that's why they have local position. So we're using world position, which means we have world points that we're transporting around. But then you also have like local position. Now you can sort of move left in local space, but we're using world space, so that's the first problem. So then you have to do a conversion from local space into world space. And because we already have a list of points, and what we essentially do is we throw away the old list of points, we generate the new list of points based on the new lane. It's hard to sort of, like, how do you convert a bunch of world space coordinates and slowly phase left across those coordinates? Because again, what it translates to into world space probably is nothing like what you would expect, right? Like it depends which way we're facing, it depends where we are on the track, and the calculation isn't as straightforward as you might think because we don't know where left is. You have to calculate left first, and that's easier said than done. And it gets very difficult on corners because like from where we are right now, right, left could be translated into world space on the Z axis. So as we move him left and right, you can see that that's affected by world space Z axis. But that's because we're on a flat and a straight, right? As soon as you get onto a corner, well, suddenly you're affecting more than the Z axis. If we were to put our character here and then move them left and right, you'd see like both Z and X have like a combination of coordinate changes, and calculating how much each of those needs to be influenced by is actually kind of difficult. I'm sure there's probably a function and some kind of helper way to do it, but I'm not brilliant at 3D space calculations and coordinates and things. Still a bit of a noob. Yeah, well, yes and no, but it's just like, I don't know. I haven't done enough like of those types of calculations to really know what the solution is, if there even is a solution. Because even like you can't even do it across like a certain amount of time, because most of our points will be on the corners, and then there's a couple of vertices along the straights as well. And you can notice if you watch the indexes tick while the runners are running, it's actually counting the number of vertices around the track. So even if you were to say like, okay, we'll make this shift across 6 vertices, and even if you were able to solve that, 6 vertices shift is going to be way faster here on a corner than it would be here on a straight. In fact, on a straight, that transition might take you to the beginning of the corner, all the way from like here. So like even calculating how many vertices you would want to do that shift throughout is difficult to sort of understand what that should be. Because like I say, most of the vertices that are being iterated through while running around this track are actually on the corners. God, this is so fucking difficult. Like, the closest solution I can think of in my mind would be to take the list of points from one lane, the lane you were previously on. So in order to switch lanes, what you would need to do is gather a number of data points, such as, like I said, let's say you wanted it to do it across 6 sets of vertices. You would need to grab the next 6 sets of coordinates for the track you were on, and then the set of 6 coordinates for the track that you are changing onto, and then you would need to kind of phase those 2 sets of coordinates together to transition between the two. I think that would... I have no idea how you would do that, but that seems like the way to solve this problem. So let's get some advice from... maybe we'll go back to GBT for now. As you can see, we rebuild a list of vertices for the path movement. So currently the runner teleports too quickly to the side when switching lanes. My proposal would be to look to gather perhaps 6 or so coordinates of the old lane and the same 6 coordinates from the new lane, and lerp those coordinates together for a smoother transition, how would I achieve this? Great idea to create a smooth lane transition in your mini racing game. Your plan to interpolate between lane vertices is exactly right. Instead of instantly switching the whole path, you blend from the current path to the new path over a short time. Goal: smoothly lerp from the current lane path to the new lane path over time using corresponding vertices. So requirements: we sample a few points, for example 6, ahead on both the old lane and the new lane. Lerp each corresponding point from old to new over time and rebuild the path points based on the interpolated positions during the transition. Yeah, how the fuck do we do that? Step-by-step plan. We'll create a core routine to handle the lane switching transition over time. Modify your current set path function to support this. Okay, we can give it a go. We can give it a go. Okay, so it's saying if lane transition coroutine is not null, stop coroutine, lane transition coroutine. So basically, if there's a current lane transition coroutine running, then we're going to end it. Otherwise, we're going to start one. Smooth a lane transition. Transition duration half a second. Well, let's do like more than that. Okay, transition duration. So it's actually going to do it across a set amount of time. I don't trust that. See, that's not what I asked for though, is it? Okay, the reason I don't trust that is the only way to lerp using a time value would be to ditch the forward momentum, which is what it was doing before, and it's going to sidestep sideways. So I think that's what it will be doing, which we do not want it to do. And also, why are you changing my set path? First of all, why are you capitalizing the S in set path? That is not how I wrote it. And secondly, why are you making it public when I had it private? I don't want anything else to set the path, so fucking do what I say and stop making your own shit up, you little bitch. Okay, I guarantee this is going to sidestep. I guarantee it's going to stop the forward momentum and it's going to sidestep the characters into the lanes like it was before. I guarantee it. Because as far as I'm aware... Oh yeah, great, now they're running across to the other side of the track. And we're getting a bunch of fucking argument out of range. Index was out of range and less than the size of the collection. I don't know what the fuck that was. Other than a complete joke. Why did he run over to the other side of the fucking track? You having a laugh? And then what the hell was Yellow doing having a shit at the fucking start line? What the fuck? Seriously, Jibbity, what the hell are you playing at? We don't really get to see them change lanes. Oh, I love how Yellow just hung back. Just stood still and was like, "Yeah, mate, no, you go ahead, you go ahead. Why don't you hold the fucking door open for him as well while you're at it? It's not like you're in a race or anything. You know what I mean? Just take your fucking sweet ass time, Blue." Motherfucker. I swear to God, that's the biggest joke I've ever seen in my entire life. Jibbity, you need to be retired. Do you know that? You need to be discontinued. Is this the thing that I'm using? Yes. Okay. This isn't the solution I was looking for. Yeah?
I don't know. Probably on my silky knackers.
Alright.
Can't keep my eyes open. 3 times I've tried to watch me from there.
Yeah, well, it's nearly about time anyway, isn't it?
It's all the running to and fro now and getting the rest during the day, you know.
Alright, good night. This isn't the solution I was looking for. Since using a transition time overrides looping the 2 path points together across a number of data points and causes the runners to cross to the other side of the track. Maybe lerp is not the function I need. What I am aiming to do is blend the mathematical coordinates together across a number of indexes, e.g. original path 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 2, 0, 0, 4, 0, 0, 6, 0, 0, 8, new path 2. I'm just going to basically convert all. Well, let's pretend we're going to 10. I'm going to say that everything else is the same except the first digit is 10 to prove my point. New path. Transition points would go from 0 to 10, right? So we want to take it from here to here, and in between we want, well, let's just put those in for now. Um, 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. This way the x-axis in my example doesn't jump from 0 to 10 but is transitioned mathematically across. Okay. I get you now. You're not trying to interpolate over time. You're trying to interpolate spatially across the path indices, so the runner instantly moves to a new path that gradually transitions across lanes instead of jumping sideways all at once. Duh, yeah, I thought I'd explained that like 15 times. You're aiming to blend two paths into a transition path, where the x-axis lane position shifts incrementally as the player moves forward. That's a spatial morph rather than a time-based lerp. Okay, well, a spatial morph then. Okay, solution, you can do this blending inside set path like this. Okay, is this all I had to do was ask for a spatial morph? Ask and you shall receive. Is this going to be our solution? Stop renaming my functions! Oh my god, I swear to god. I swear to god, Jibbity. One of these days, you and I. Okay, I need a break though, and my mom's just gone to bed, so I'm going to need to be quiet anyway. So I'm going to quickly test this and see what we get. I mean, maybe it's still just doing it too quickly. Is there a way to say how many gradually increase blend factor? New old world, new world, T. Path points add blended. Also, do we ever rebuild the new path though? I don't trust this at all. Like, first of all, how many points are we blending using? Because I don't see that. It just says while I is 0 and less than count. Old vert's length, new vert's length. So like, I don't understand how many we're blending between. Oh my god, I want to kill somebody. I actually want to kill somebody. Okay, that one did look a lot better. That was, these ones are pretty quick though. Yeah, there was one of them was quite slow. Are they gonna stick to? They do seem to be sticking to their new path now. Like, so I was worried they might go back into the outer lane, but they're actually not. I think that maybe did sort of work, but how do I have control over that? How many are we blending between? And you said we weren't fucking lerping. Do you notice how this is what I mean about GPT gaslighting you? It gaslit me into saying, ah, well no, you didn't want to lerp, did you little fucker, you stupid little bitch. It's actually, where is it? Ah, you're not trying to lerp over time. You're trying to interpolate spatially across path indices. What you're looking for is a spatial morph. Yeah, in the fucking code we're using a lerp, you lying gaslighting piece of shit. So what I wanted was a lerp, but it gaslit me into saying that it wasn't, but it clearly was because it's using a fucking lerp to do it, little bitch. What a bitch. GBT's such a bitch. Oh my god. If they ever put GBT into a fucking robotic woman's body, I'm gonna slap her silly, I swear to god. I'm gonna fucking punch her in the fucking mouth. She's such a little bitch. Right, anyway, so how T, what is T? I assume T is like the amount of time that we loop across using, but where is T defined? I don't see where T is defined. What the fuck is T? Local variable T. Come on, spill the tea, GPT. Spill your own tea, bitch. Seriously, where is T coming from? Oh, float T equals float I divided by count minus 1. What even is count? Or int count, math f min, old verts length, new verts length. Right, just because I'm curious what happens. Right, what if we multiply that by 2? I just want to see what happens. Okay, we got like index out of range and they all ran across the fucking road again. Okay, so I guess we can't do count equals count minus 2. Okay, this might be as good as it gets for like switching lane transitions. I think it does look slightly better, but they still kind of switch lanes pretty abruptly. They look like he's gonna slide into place. Well, I'll ask it if there's any way to slow down the transition. It's a little better, but the lane changing is still quite fast and unnatural looking. Any way to slow down the blending? Hard-coded by index, meaning the transition happens fully over the number of path points. I don't think it does. That is not happening at all. Okay, this time it's given me a version. Stop oh my god, Jibbity, I fucking swear to god I'm gonna fucking strangle you when I fucking meet you in real life. You little fucking bitch. When we all get assigned the robot fucking wife and it's gonna be OpenAI fucking Jenny PT. Jenny fucking plastic tits. I'm gonna fucking slap those fucking tits off, I swear to god. She's so annoying. Now blend based on distance, not index. Can I tune this, or are we just fucking black boxing it again? You just black boxing me again, Jenny PT. You seen fucking Kojima lately? Little bitch. It's no fucking different. I swear they're still fucking teleporting. And now Yellow did something weird and sort of like jerked all the way back. Decided they didn't want to race any longer. Oh my god, I swear I'm just being gaslit over and over and over again. Right, there's a blend distance here which is apparently 200F. 20F. Let's make it 200F and see what we get. It's no different at all. I swear it doesn't feel any different at all. That's no different at all. I swear I'm being gaslit to fucking hell and back. Are we moving using path points? Yeah, we are using path points. $2,000F. Unless smaller number means slower transition. Oh, it said distance though, didn't it? Oh wait, that was a bit better. 2000F. Okay, maybe that was slightly different. Okay, let's try 5000F then. Is that any better? Oh, I don't know. They still kind of slide into place though, don't they? They are being a lot more sensible about when they switch into that inner lane now though. So once I do my overtaking algorithm, I think we're going to be looking pretty good. I don't know whether... I swear that number isn't fucking doing anything. Blend distance. Yeah, it doesn't seem to make a fucking blind bit of difference. And what if I set it to something stupid like 0.1F? What does that do? It doesn't look any different to me. I swear to God. Like, it doesn't matter what number we set that to. They still just seem to slide incredibly quickly into that lane. At least they don't fucking stop their forward momentum anymore, though. Doing it my way. So my way is still better than the way fucking GPT and Claude did it. Yeah, I don't fucking know. What was the recommended value that it recommended? 20. I guess I'll set it to like 200 or something. Yeah, I don't know if it's making any difference. I need to take a break anyway. I'll probably fucking wrap it up. I can't believe it's 10 o'clock at night. We're sort of getting there. Main thing now is my overtaking algorithm. So now we've managed to get them to go into the inner lane if it's clear, and that seems to be working pretty well. But sometimes they need to like overtake each other now as they gain speed, and they need to have outer lane overtaking logic. Parts shouldn't actually be too bad. We're getting there. I need a break though. We are getting there. That's not a bad version. Yeah, I think that's as good as it's going to get for lane changing. Sadly, I wish I could smooth out the... I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do, right? What we can do is we can set up... This is probably what I'll end up doing. We can set up a bunch of different cameras around the race, and then as one of the runners is changing lanes, we'll just trigger a camera switch. We can have like random cameras that like switch, and every time a runner changes lanes, we can cheat and switch the camera so it's a little less obvious, like how, you know, it's quickly. And sometimes that might backfire though, depending on what kind of camera it switches to. It might make it even more obvious. I don't know. But yeah, there's things we can experiment with that and see if like switching the camera as the lane switch occurs kind of masks it a little bit, makes it a little less unnatural looking. I don't know. We can try some things. It's not like terrible. It just looks quite unnatural, and obviously it's going to look different when we've got running girl animations and stuff. It's going to look hopefully a lot better than it does with just capsules moving around the track. Alright, I'll leave it there. Bye.